ready? The time has come. Let the show begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
One of the things that were going around was, I call it the exhaustion piece. Many women were reposting how they were tired of the men that they've been with, and at this point now they're basically, I guess, stepping out. Not stepping out is not the correct term. They're giving up. They're throwing in the towel. I think that would be. They're throwing in the towel. They're not being bothered.
They're content alone.
And I want to believe that. I do. But the biological thing kicks in. We're not meant to be by ourselves.
Just because we are not meant to be by ourselves does not mean we can't be content being alone. It doesn't mean we want to be alone. We're just content. Meaning, I'm okay with it. If that's the way it's got to be, I'm okay with it. If I had a choice, that's not what I would choose. Because I'm content being by myself. I don't want to be. It irritates me, but I'm content.
You're not happy with it?
Not at all.
Okay. Kind of proving my point here.
No.
Okay.
I'm not happy with it because it's not what I want. I don't like the word no, and I feel like I'm getting told no because he's not here. But I'm okay living like that. Like I'm at peace by myself. Like,
I mean, okay.
I'm okay.
I don't know if it's a matter or measure of being okay. I think at some point.
And then people that's talking about they happy with it. I mean, some people can be happily single, but
I'll give them that.
I'm not one of them people that's gonna be happily single.
I think that's a minority than it is a majority. Too many women are claiming that, and it's like I don't know about that.
I don't think. For me personally, I don't feel like happily single is the right word. I think there's another word. I think it's more so of you're content, you're at peace.
Right.
I mean, because I find peace in, not having nobody I got to answer to, not having to worry about what he doing, if he doing, and, do I got to cook dinner? Do I got to wash his clothes? I can't throw my drawers on the floor because he might come home and I don't want to be nasty with a man in the house. You got to worry about all these things. So you're at peace. You just be like,
but everything that you said, isn't it?
But I find joy in those things at the same time.
Right. And
Two things can be true.
Right. But I think also, too, having people around in some ways keeps us in check.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, I mean, for example, it was an old girlfriend of mine. She says, well, I used to really have a lot of people come over. She says, I liked it and I hated it. And I said, well, why'd you like it? She said, because it made me keep the house clean. Mm-hmm. And now that I don't really, I'm kind of letting things go. Mm-hmm. So I think those pieces, especially back to what you were saying, is having good relationships, it should be an upside.
It is. And you know what's funny? Mm-hmm. This is where my brain I tickle myself. It's because I feel the exact same way that she does, because I've got a slight bit of OCD, but I'll get lazy and leave stuff. And then I turn around and be mad at myself because why did you leave that there? Put that up. So then I gotta laugh at myself because I'm like, really, you just played that mind game with yourself. Like, you just made yourself mad. What'd you do that for?
A man present could just alleviate all that.
Exactly.
Boom. And then once you got it picked up, all right, baby, I see you bent over. Just stay on over there.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
The gentleman's pillar in effect. Yeah, boy.
In the kitchen.
Yes. In the kitchen. Stirring. Anyway.
Okay, back to exhaustion.
Exhaustion. So anyway, we had a letter from a counselor who will remain nameless, of course, because she has to protect clients or whatever. So I get blasted for these nameless deals, but so what? Big deal. You're going to be okay. Read on, my sister.
Is she a counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist? Or?
A counselor.
Okay, she's a counselor. Yeah. She wrote us a soliloquy, y'all. She said, as As a therapist for over 20 years, okay, this piece has valid feelings contained in it, but the other side is that many women, over 50% of my female clients, have sat in the chair across from me with little to no accountability or self-reflection. Yes, many say, yes, here you go, blaming women, but I've counseled many, over 1,000, who enter in relationships with men that have problems at the doormat. I can agree with that. Women lie to themselves.
You said that.
One in particular, FG, meet a charming, attractive African-American gentleman. I think she meant met. But he was really nice and caring, where go-to words of description in the infancy stage of their relationship. Okay, anyway. With this, she would not acknowledge the obvious red flags. He was already a father of 3 girls with a woman whom he had not married. His job history was not the best, at least enough to support his family he had already started. I asked, had she inquired about the mother of his 3 children. He told me that they could not get along and that she used the children as pawns. I could not see them until child support was paid. Okay, I'm gonna read this before I insert my thoughts.
Okay.
No matter how I tried to explain to her, his actions told what type of man or husband he would be. He already showed you his lack of personal responsibility by procreating a lot with a woman that was not his wife. That irritates my soul when women go there with that. Okay, anyway, not taking account of his own personal finance to determine 1-2 kids were not affordable, but then decided to have 3 children by a woman who was not worthy of marriage. He also liked to drink often. She mentioned as a gift for his first birthday within their relationship, she bought a beautiful personalized flask for him because he already had one, an old worn out one. An irresponsible alcoholic, because he followed in order the player's playbook: first love bomb, slowly intro the bad habits, and little to no accountability or valid explanations for bad decisions. Everything was somebody else's fault.
You okay? You need me to take it over?
See, this is my thing, because
You can go ahead.
we had the same conversation. I had this conversation with a relative of mine. We were talking about Cam Newton
Okay.
and him and all his children.
Yes.
And I actually really, really like Cam.
Okay.
And I've listened to him and I've seen his growth, and he's trying to be better. And he has said in his younger years where his mind was.
Right.
So yes, now, to some extent, I can see how, like, she would say he had, he's having all these kids.
Right.
My cousin said the same thing about Cam, having these kids with this woman that he don't intend on marrying.
Right.
But Cam Newton had intentions on marrying the woman he was with. Things just didn't go right.
Okay.
So they didn't get married.
Okay.
And he said that the majority of the women, because I don't think it's very many women that he's actually got kids with. He's just got a lot of kids.
Right.
But all of them are just not biological.
Right.
But
Okay.
the women that he was with, he saw himself being with them long term.
Right.
Stuff just life happened.
Well,
And so that's why I see it kind of both ways, because in some instances, yeah, come on, dude, if you want to be with this woman or not. And if you don't plan on making her a wife, why you keep popping out babies? Like, take some responsibility.
but we also talking about Cam Newton.
Yeah, I mean,
Right. And fine women are a dime a dozen for him. And when you say, okay, she looks like she's a part, well, guess what? Another one pops up out of nowhere.
well, but that wasn't always his reason for moving on.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it definitely played a part.
of course. Because all them women I done seen him with, they are not
Oh, yeah.
ugly. They
Oh,
are
yeah.
not far from ugly.
Yeah, not at all. But so I mean, and he has, admitted his that issue that he had with, women.
Yeah, it's finagling.
And he's
It's
losing that desire.
Right.
So we get older, people change, they grow, hopefully.
right.
But in the instance of just your average,
normal guy,
everyday
your
guy,
Joe, right.
who's to say it's not the same thing? I mean, and it don't even have to be other women. It could just be something. Who knows the stuff? Okay, you're saying he's an alcoholic or whatever the case may be, which, I mean, I didn't. Maybe that was something she said. She didn't go deep off into that. But how you know he's an alcoholic just because he liked to drink? Is he getting drunk and doing stupid stuff while he's drunk? I mean, is he? I don't know. There's more that goes into that.
Right.
But I just hate when we pass judgment on people like that and just automatically say that, it's a red flag because he got 3 kids. They all by one woman.
Well.
And who's to say what was going on in their relationship as to how it wasn't her that didn't want to marry him?
Well, all right.
We know it wasn't her cheating, and how do we know it wasn't her beating on him? I mean,
because
men don't talk about them things.
That is true, but I think it goes to the point of stopping right there. So here's the perspective I come from, is looking at the outcomes. Most of us are not Cam Newton. The majority of us, the vast majority.
Oh, very true.
So we really cannot afford
a whole bunch of kids. You are absolutely right.
So it behooves any young man, when you know your income potential is, it may be a high 5 figure at the peak of your career. People know I'm a mailman. I've upset many a men back in the day delivering those child support notices.
Oh yeah.
And I know this guy ain't working, and unfortunately, he was just got through smoking a doobie and probably drinking on a 40. So making that assessment to say, wait a minute, I got to be responsible for my member.
He ain't thinking that,
and he's not. And so it comes back to bite you in the behind when you get older.
Very true. And you know what irritates me about this system that we live in is because I just ran into this. It happens to women, but I just found that it happened to men because somebody I know, a guy, I can't remember who it was, but he wanted to get a vasectomy. Mm-hmm. But he didn't have any kids yet.
Right.
The doctor didn't want to give him a vasectomy.
No, that's not
and
wise.
I'm like,
I don't think it's wise. One,
it can get reversed.
That's expensive.
I mean, hey, that's on you, bro. If you want to pay for that, I'm as a doctor. Hey, go ahead and bring me your money.
So, all right,
bring me that money.
As a side note, when now we're talking about birth controls now and things women having after 40 and everything else. Yeah, those things are possible. Medical advancement has made most things possible. Mm-hmm. But talking to an actual person where, those things were in play, it is not cheap at all. I
don't think doctors should be worrying about what I'm spending out of my pocket because they ain't worried about it when they passing out drugs. They'll give you every drug in the world.
Right. I am not talking about doctors. I am talking about your average Joe who having problems paying child support for 2 kids.
If the average Joe want to spend the money to go get fixed so that he or she can make sure they don't produce no kids, let them. It's their money. If they can afford to pay for it.
Right. But go
ahead and pay for it.
I think that's unwise as a young person to get a vasectomy. I think it's unwise. I really do.
In your 20s?
Yes.
Why?
Because here's some things I think unfortunate. It's not unfortunate, but one of the reasons why men don't mature as faster as women, because y'all have a window. Biologically, y'all have a window to operate in. Mm-hmm. Your first period to when you can have your last kid. Men don't have that window. So a lot of times our maturity is, it's not as
later in y'all 30s.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so boom. And so I can even say for me, I didn't realize how important I embrace legacy until I was older. I'm glad I didn't get a vasectomy in my younger years, but actually, and I guess I understood it because I witnessed it in my family. I just could not verbalize it. But I remember seeing my grandfather, like, sitting proud. Like, at his grandkids, especially like a family reunion or like holidays, and just, man, look what I did. You know, and my grandma too. You know, look what I did. And so that being said, you know, I couldn't verbalize it then, but that's what I'm saying. As a young man, I would not advise any young man to get because you're not. Just say, wrap it up, or wrap it up. Because yes, that has been the downfall of many young men, is getting a woman who you are not vested in, who you don't really know as well. But most of all, you don't know to check for things that would make for a good, I hate to say baby mama, so I'm going to say wife.
Okay.
You don't know those things.
A good mother.
A good mother. And so sometimes those mistakes are made, and you're
a good partner.
Yeah. And you have a baby by a woman who is not a good mother, and you gonna go through it, and it makes it a bad experience for everybody involved. And so I know I
still think they should be able to get a vasectomy.
I mean,
now, granted, I'm with you on the whole maturity thing.
I ain't saying you can't.
I'm with you on the whole maturity thing and all that. I do understand that 1,000%. I'm just saying, at least get a consultation so you can find out how much it costs and think about how much it's going to cost for you to get it reversed. That's because yes, it's not cheap.
Right. It's because we jump in subjects, but I think that same formula has not been applied to the whole weight loss game. People are not getting the back end information that you got to pay some money for maintenance as well. Like if you want to get that skin tightened back up, it's going to cost you. Yeah. But anyway, we digress.
Yeah. And I lost my train of thought that fast, and it was just back on this actually. But anyway,
we shouldn't judge. You felt like we shouldn't. That's what some of your last thoughts.
Yeah, Okay. I don't like when women just automatically give men that jacket, and it's like, you know, I felt like that was, and maybe that was some of her inner thoughts that she put on paper that may not be the necessarily inner thoughts she gave her patient.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
But because to me it sounded like more of your personal opinion than actual fact.
But here's what I will say.
Supposed fact.
Here's what I will say. And I've learned to live by this. Past behaviors are a great indicator of future.
Oh, definitely.
And so with that,
definitely,
because I can remember folks back in high school, they would take a little sip or whatever, and it was fun then. But every time you'd see them, they'd have, they might take a little sip, and it was fun. But then I can remember a guy, and unfortunately he ended up passing away. Fast forward 30 years, and I see him, and just so happened, gave him a bruh hug. And when folks are alcoholics, all this organs then kind of harden up in there. And when I hugged him, I froze, because I'm like, damn, your shit is hard. I'm not talking about his member. I'm not talking about his member.
Pause,
yes, big pause. But you could tell them organs, that liver has started hardening up, and it's just like, damn. Man, I can remember, it was fun back in the day, but you never stopped. You never stopped. So that's why I'm like, hey, I can remember those things and those practices of folks back in the day more often than not. It doesn't end up well. I think for a lot of our rappers, that we kind of grew up around, some of them have hit early graves. Rest in peace, Rob Bass. I know drugs was a part of the culture then, with the whole rap, whether it was weed and, whatnot, but you can only go so far.
Right.
So I think that's where, I don't know, but I'm going to interject to say maybe that was that piece, because that is a counselor, so.
Oh, yeah. But also when she said, talking about when she asked about the kids and he said they couldn't get along, she used the kids as pawns, and then he couldn't see the kids until his child support was paid. That right there is an indicator that woman is an issue. So it's not all on him. Because there are some women, because me personally, whether you paid a dime or not, I would not keep a child away from their father. if he's not of any danger to them.
I agree with you 100%.
That don't mean I'm gonna stop going after you for that money.
Right.
But I'm not gonna keep you away from your kids whether you pay a dime or not.
But you do realize most women don't think that way.
Exactly, and that's ridiculous.
Most mothers do not think
And then the fact that he said that she used the kids as a pawn. Now, depending on how long this woman been around them, she should be able to kind of see that. And of course, you got to watch his behavior, because I have been around some women that actually do that. And that's more speaking to her, and depending on the type of man he's showing himself to be. So it could go either way.